My biggest reference point is the natural world. I like looking at the organic shapes and textures in nature, and they inspire me a lot. The other thing that inspires me is the materials that I make. I make collages, which means I cut up pieces of paper and paste them onto another piece of paper to make images. So before I do that, I create a big stash of papers by painting them or drawing on them, using various different media, printing on them. And my stash of papers is another thing that I draw from. So when I get started, I go through my pile and I see what kinds of colors and textures are calling to me, and I pull them out, and that's what I work with. I first heard about the Art Connection about 4 years ago when a friend told me about it, and I thought, what a terrific idea. I had a lot of work that was just kind of sitting around in my studio, and I thought, what a great opportunity to get it out in front of people, and also what a win all the way around for the organizations that wouldn't necessarily be able to acquire art, and also for the people that get to see it, and for me.
Before I started working on this series of paintings, I was very interested in the grid and in marks and how they related to music, and I found that that was great, but that I really missed the kind of intuitive, less intellectual process of just going with feelings and finding out where that leads you. And so these paintings are much more intuitive, and they all 6 of them relate to the summers that I spent as a young person in Door County, Wisconsin, which is a beautiful peninsula that goes off into Lake Michigan. I like my work to be seen, and I like my work to be used, and every painter I know has a huge inventory of work in their studio. There are times when you just think, I would much rather have somebody else make use of this. I want this to have a life outside of my studio. So it's a very self-centered donation for me. I get to have this seen and used by a whole new group of people whom I never would have met. So it's a pleasure.
It's part of a series of pieces that I've been working on over the past couple of years it's sort of a combination of a geometric approach, but relating that to a flower. Perfection at the bottom. The shapes are identical where the fronds start, but as they grow up out of the ground, each one of the fronds takes on an individual shape. So I consider that sort of a metaphor for growth, individuals growing. I do the drawing over and over again, and I can make adjustments. The sections have to be drawn in a way that is freehand, but that of course fits exactly into a panel that's the correct size. The panels were 4 feet by 10 feet. There's polypropylene panels, and you don't want it to look like it's just cut out of the panel. You know, it's important that these pieces have kind of a free form quality, an organic flowing quality to them. I turned to the Art Connection right as the exhibit downtown was ending. I just was really happy with the idea of putting it here. I couldn't think of a better home for it than the local community college. I certainly am really happy to have the piece here at MassBay, and people have let me know that they really appreciate having it here, and that means a lot to me. Knowing that students are going by every day, and that my piece is adding to something to the environment here, it gives me a lot of pleasure.